Welcome back to the director's commentaries on Callback Episode 5, The Injustices. And injustices there are in this industry. And it's based on true events. Everything we're talking about here in this episode is true. So it's also the least watched episode, the mislike, the outcast. And I don't know why it's that way. People didn't seem to care as much for that episode. I know the location is not as pleasing to watch, but the goal here was to try to recreate, since my character is rehearsing a taxi driver scene. It was to recreate the Travis Bickle modest apartment. So I thought we should shoot it in my workshop in the basement here. And it was a decision that I almost regretted because of the lighting. There are fluorescent tubes in that room, and I don't recommend it. It makes harsh lighting and it makes a lot of noise, so I don't recommend it. This shot here, you see everything in one frame. My co-star, myself, I'm pointing the gun at her and at me at the same time. You have to plan those shots, and I gave it a lot of second thought, and I got exactly what I wanted. So those are the type of shots that you need to think ahead when you want to make something special shot. And it was also the gag at the beginning. Every episode has a gag at the beginning to kick off the opening credits, and to kick off also the theme of the series. And funny enough, we didn't plan it, but it's a good thing we had a joke at the beginning, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to keep the formatting of those episodes. Because we know a movie, you do whatever you want, but a series, the format needs to be the same for each episode. Otherwise, the audience will get lost, will not recognize the packaging in the series, the episodes. A few nice camera movements also in this episode. My friend did a good job. Yeah, so I said it was the least watched episode, but it was the toughest to shoot technically for many reasons. I talked about the fluorescence lighting that room. Sometimes it was nice because it was creating a backlight. See here, I'm crossing the line, and that was also planned. And you need to think of those shots, because when they're well done, they seem very easy to make. But look at where I'm shot now, where the camera shooting my character is positioned. Okay, here, when I will cross back in front of the camera, I will cross the axe again. I will go back to where I was before. The camera needs to switch place. Take a look where it was here, and where it is now. Well, the problem here is as an actor, I didn't move at the right time. I should have been already there. So it was the mistake was not coming from the camera. It was coming from the actor here. But those type of displacement, you need to plan them. It requires to reposition the camera. Otherwise, the camera would have crossed the axe, and it would have been confusing for the audience. And the reason why I planned all those displacements, those movements from my character, it's because I knew it would have been very static if I stayed at the same place for the entire episode. And I knew it was not necessarily pleasing to watch. It's not a beautiful room. So I said, okay, I need to dress it up a little bit. So I need to move. And my character is at home. He's in his own place. So he's very comfortable, and he's nervous at the same time. So he should be walking all over the place. As my co-star, she's more shy because she's not in her home. So she sits down when and she doesn't move that much. But I said my character should be moving all over the place. So see here, I'm going to move again. And I move all over the place. So you need to think of those And by doing so, I sometimes I go over fluorescence. So what I did is I wrapped those fluorescent with the black wrapping metal paper. I don't remember the right name of that. See, the camera moved again. It's the first time the camera is positioned that way because our characters just moved. So the reason why I did it, like I said, it was to dress up this episode, to make a little bit as if we were changing room, but we were always in the same place. It was the first episode also that we had sound woman, and it was a good thing that we had her with us. Even though she was not operating the boom, she was at the recording machine, and she was also the script, so she was making sure we were not skipping lines. And skipping lines, we did a lot, so she was there, and it's a good thing because we would still be shooting that episode. It's the one that took... that was the longest to shoot. I remember we ended up... that day we ended shooting at 8:30, and we were exhausted, especially my co-star. It was because it's one of her episodes. She's leading that episode, and it's a roller coaster of emotion for her. You'll see her here. Yeah, she's falling in tears. And I remember just before shooting that segment, she wanted to go home. She was tired. And I said, we need to wrap it up today. And when came time to shoot this segment here, well, she's a good actress. She could have easily started crying, but it was very close under her skin, and I felt it. She manifested it before shooting that scene. So we were very exhausted. Technically, it was very tough for the sound, for the camera, for the lighting, for everything, and also for editing. But with what I had, I think I did a great editing. I'm very proud of the editing of this. I wish I would have had a few more shots, like those shots here could have been in close-up shots, but we would have needed to also reposition the camera for my character here on a lower angle and more straight to the face. But it was out of the idea to do it. I would have done it. As a director, I'm always more willing to do long days of shooting. It's always the case, but we have to respect our crew and our stars, our actors. So all this episode, she think she loses roles because of her body, and she think it's all related to her boob, and she suggests to have a boob job. That's what she did right here. After 10 minutes of trying to convince her that it was not the problem, she brings it up. How much does it cost, a boob job? It's not my idea. I would not have suggested her to say that. She brought it up while writing this episode. So still all the people that donated to the series. And those bloopers, we didn't have a lot of bloopers in that episode. We were so serious and focused. But I think this shot here is much more funny than the one that I picked for the episode. I think I should have take that one, but maybe it was not in continuity with the rest. Maybe that's the reason why. But I know that sometimes maybe I was too cautious. I should have... but so much is going on when we shoot an episode or when we edit an episode. So sometimes we don't always get what we would like to have, and it's too late to go back and do it again sometimes, which was the case here. So that was the last episode. See you in a week from now for the last one, and we'll have a guest star of the name of Amélie Paul. See you then.